Often a huge badge of honor to be able to show that you are physically abusing a child, and your stock within that community goes up. You become a more valuable member of this community the more depraved you are. Sad? Yes. Sick? Of course.
Interpol investigators had long suspected that some of Christopher Neil's abuse might have taken place in Bangkok. His arrival in Thailand gave the Thai police an added reason to study the internet photographs more closely. One particular image, part of the 200 pictures originally found on the web, was now looked at again.
We had images which had been in existence for a number of years, which could have been Thai. And we asked the Thai police to reassess those images. And this gave new life, great new life to the investigation.
One picture showed a young boy aged around 13 posing for the camera with the name of his school on his white shirt. Other images showed the same child being abused.
One of the detectives went to the school showing the picture of the boy to some of the teachers. Now, the teachers recognized the boy, that he'd come through the school many years back.
And so the full horror began to emerge. The abuse of young boys in Christopher Neil's apartment in Bangkok when he'd lived in the country in 2003.
It was about 6 in the evening, and a couple of policemen came to the neighborhood. When they found me, they showed me the picture, asking if it was my eldest son. I said yes, and asked what was the matter. For a moment, there was silence.
The police told him that Christopher Neil had assaulted his son when he was 13 years old, and the suspicion was that it didn't stop there. Police also believed that Neil had assaulted the man's 8-year-old son as well. According to the two boys, Neil had enticed them into his 7th-floor apartment.
In their testimony, this is what my son said happened. They were playing a computer game in an internet cafe when a friend their age approached them, persuading them to go play games in Neil's apartment. Neil let the boys play games for a while before he had them lie on the bed. He then assaulted them. He then took pictures of them when they were naked. My younger son was only 8 years old when this happened. Neil was a tourist. He could have found some place to pay for what he was after. Most of all, as a teacher, he was in a position of trust.
What do you think of Christopher Neil?
I hate him. He seemed like a nice guy on the surface. What a shame he was such a monster. I really hate him.
Until now, the Thai police had been acting merely as agents for Interpol. But now they had evidence that Neil had committed offences in Thailand. They could prosecute him.
The whole saga now gets a new lease of life in that the Thai authorities are in a position to issue a warrant for his arrest.
And then came the crucial breakthrough. Using modern methods of surveillance, the police had been tracking Om, Neil's lover, ever since the pair had left Pattaya, where Om had written his personal details in the hotel register.
We got his telephone number, the mobile telephone number, which we monitor his movement through the telephone. And we knew where Om was moving, so we follow him.
From Pattaya, using satellite technology, police tracked Om nearly 200 miles north to Korat, his hometown. On October the 18th, 1 week after Neil's arrival in Thailand after fleeing South Korea, the tourist police in Korat were told that the world's most wanted paedophile was somewhere in their town. They started to blitz the local area with pictures of Christopher Neil. It was reported that he and Ohm had been collected from the bus station by a woman in a green pickup truck. Police quickly traced the driver. It was Ohm's cousin.
At first, she said to my officers that Neil and Ohm had come to her, but they'd now left. We doubted the truth of what she told us. But later, at her home, the officers persuaded her to tell what had really happened, after pointing out that she could be charged as an accomplice. She eventually conceded that Neil and Ohm had come seeking her help. She said she'd found them a house to hide in, and eventually she agreed to show us the place.
Next morning, Friday, October the 19th, police drove to a small village just outside Korat. The global search for Mr. Swirl was about to end.
One of my friends often mocks me by calling me manhunter, you know, and as every hunter will tell you, when your prey is in the bag, it's a good feeling.
On October the 19th, 2007, the worldwide hunt for paedophile Christopher Neil was coming to a close. Police had found him by tracking the mobile phone belonging to his lover, who joined him on the run. The satellite surveillance had led them to a small village, 150 miles from the Thai capital, Bangkok.
When we got here, we found some children were playing outside. We asked them if there was a foreigner staying at any of the houses around here. They said there was this one foreign man living at number 5. So we called our commanding officer, asking if we should arrest the man right away. He gave us permission, and we were instructed to carry out the arrest without waiting for any backup force.
The police go to knock the door, and he opened the door. And the police asked, you know why I come? And he said yes. And police asked for his passport, and he gave the police.
Was he very upset? What was he like when he was going?
He not upset, he be like a normal.
Ohm burst into tears as he saw us. We tried to calm him down, explaining there was nothing to fear.
You were quite upset.
Yeah, and a little bit cry.
Why?
I think why police come to lock him.
That morning, before the police came, Ohm says Neil had intended to turn himself in.
I tell him to go to Bangkok and go to the embassy Canada. And he say, I will think about it. I need 1 day thinking about it. And next day, you know, in the morning, he say, okay, we will call to the embassy and the police, and I will go to Bangkok with him, but police come on that day in the morning.
This picture, taken on a mobile phone, is the first image of Neil after his arrest. He was unshaven, tired and tense. His first stop was back to the police station in Korat.
I got a chance to talk to Christopher Neil briefly. He was very nervous, abnormally so. His hands were shaking.
After being arrested, Christopher Neil, Mr. Swirl, was driven to Bangkok in a police convoy.
It was really wonderful news. For us, it was great. Here he was now under arrest by the Thai police, and he was being brought down to Bangkok to face the music. It was a great sense of achievement for our network of officers around the world. One of my friends mocks me by calling me manhunter, you know, and as every hunter will tell you, when your prey is in the bag, it's a good feeling.
The Thai police had their man. And with the world's media watching, they were going to make sure that everyone knew. Neil was bundled into police headquarters in Bangkok. The pictures beamed around the world.
ผู้ต้องหายังปฏิเสธนะคะรับแต่เพียงว่าเป็นบุคคลตามหมายจับจริงเท่านั้นทันทีที่ตำรวจท่องเที่ยวนำตัวนายคริสโตเฟอร์พอลนิวอายุ32 ปีชาวแคนาดาผู้ต้องหาคดีพรากผู้เยาว์และกระทำอนาจารเด็กในหลายประเทศมาแถลงข่าวก็ถูก
That is not the depiction of my brother that I expected to see. I mean, sure, he's been, I guess on the run, for a few days, but still don't expect the glasses, and he looked almost sinister. Kind of didn't look like my brother.
I knew how people must be